Kevin, we've just had a big weekend come and go. King and Queen of the Ring, AEW Double or Nothing. So much is going on. I'm here. I've got gloves on. I've got a beanie, a puffer jumper. I've got 3 layers beneath me. It is so cold. And I can't stress this enough for you as the viewer to try and make you feel bad or empathetic. It is so cold for this recording. I'm up. It's 4 a.m. on a Wednesday morning in the land down under. I'm doing this for you, the viewer. So that being said, pal, how you doing?
I'm good, pal. Literally got something in my eye as I clicked record. So if I was blinking and spazzing out, that's why. Yeah, I see. It's like what, like 2 a.m. for you? You got what, 30 minutes of sleep, and you're here just to record this podcast, pal. This episode of Elite Take.
So for the listeners and for the viewers, just so you guys know, there was a miscommunication yesterday. I thought Kevin said 1 p.m. his time. Turned out it was 11 a.m., which keep in mind 11 a.m. Kevin's time for me is 1 a.m. in the morning, and it's freezing cold. I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning because I thought he meant 1 p.m. So I was up at 3 a.m. freezing my ass off just to like, wait, no, sorry, Kevin meant 11. Damn it. So yeah, anyway, so I'm now up at 4 a.m. the next day to get this recorded, pal. This is what we do. This is what we do for you. What YouTuber, what podcaster do you know is waking up at 3:30 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to record in the freezing? None of them. So this is our dedication. This is why you need to subscribe, share the show, put us, link us on all the social medias you have, pal. This is why we are the best podcast on YouTube.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, I could have said it better myself. You stole all the words right out of my mouth, pal. So with that being said, go ahead.
I'll steal some more words out of your mouth, pal. I want to kick us off, and I want to ask this question to you.
Yep.
So the top question, the first question
yep.
on our Elite Take run sheet, this is an angle which a lot of people don't expect us to come from. People tend to associate us, oh, we're WWE, like biased, whatever. I've got to be fair here. Was King and Queen of the Ring a letdown?
In short, yes. I would say I was pretty disappointed overall with the card. It was a 5-match card in its totality. And just to bluntly summarize what happened, the show opened with Liv Morgan defeating Becky Lynch. Okay, pretty good result. Then we had Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. I'm not really a fan of triple threat matches for no reason. Like, I don't really know why Bronson Reed was in this match when Chad Gable is the hottest heel going, and Sami Zayn is like the new Intercontinental Champion. But then Nia Jax, like, that's when the show just fell off a cliff for me. Nia Jax wins Queen of the Ring, and I'm like, okay, this is what I paid $5.99 for to Peacock. Like, this is where my $6 is going. I digress. That was just brutal. I mean, we had to call it what it is. That was tough to watch, honestly. Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria. I hope I said the name correctly. So now Nia gets a title shot. Like, if this was just, oh, here's Nia with the crown and she's gonna beat jobbers up for 19 months, I'd be happy with it. But she's literally getting a title match at SummerSlam. So what, we're gonna get Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax? Like, I thought her return was just like, oh, it's Nia. She's here to like help out the young talent. No, she's getting pushed straight to the top. Main eventing SummerSlam. But then it was Gunther versus Randy Orton, which ended in a non-finish. And we're going to speak about this in a little while. Or, like, Triple H literally addressed it after the show. It was like, oh, the ref's call stands, but it was a bad call. And then it was Cody versus Logan Paul, which was a fine match. So overall, they were like 2 good matches. If you want to say the triple threat match was good. Yeah, there were 2 solid matches. And then, like, Gunther and Randy Orton is just ruined by, like, bad booking and over complications.
I'm conscious with this show as well, since it was a Saudi Arabia show, for people like you, pal, if you want to watch this live, you'd be waking up at like 5 a.m. Like, this is one of those shows where if you want to wake up at the hours I wake up in the morning to watch it, this is what you were greeted by. I watched this show and I wasn't impressed. Now, I'm watching this in the back of my mind going, I know WWE is a hot product. As we saw with Elimination Chamber, a number of these shows, they can put on really any card, and then the fans will love it. So it doesn't really matter. Like, we're picking, we're nitpicking here is all we're doing. But generally speaking, this felt like WWE, here's a show for Saudi, give us our paycheck. This felt like the Triple H version of here's the show, let's just take in our 8 figures of revenue and move to the next one. That's what this felt like. There didn't feel like a lot of passion involved in the creation of this show, which that's probably a bit of a blunt assessment. And maybe is that fair on Triple H? I don't know. But I was watching this show, pal, and you ran over the card just then. I'm not going to go match by match the way you did, but especially that Queen of the Ring match. I'm sitting there. Okay, I'm watching Nia Jax versus Lia Val. I'm not going to try and say it. I'm just sitting here watching it, right? I'm sitting here. I'm watching. I'm like, what is this doing for anyone? Okay, Nia Jax wins, and then what? You know, as you say, okay, she's going to have the match at SummerSlam, pal. Is it going to be Liv Morgan taking on Nia Jax and get help from Dom Mysterio? Or is, like, okay, I guess, like, oh, pal, oh. So like, I watched that match. I was like, and we'll discuss that more in a bit. And then, Gunther, Randy Orton, great matchup. Like, this is Gunther, Randy Orton. These two, like, of WWE's biggest stars, right? And then they do the finish they do. I'm like, okay. Like, this is one of those matches where no one watches this back. Like, as soon as the match ended, I go, no one's going back to watch this. Because the finish, then the crowd wasn't that into it. Like, that's my view. Like, the crowd was like, reacting where it was needed. But it wasn't like a backlash crowd poundly on where, like, they made the matches even more fun. Like, I'll go back to watch Backlash because of the crowd. With the Saudi crowd, it's a bit like, oh, yeah. They get 2 Saudi shows a year most years. Yeah. And then, the other matches around them, none of them felt like they needed that. They felt like Raw matches. Even Cody and Logan Paul, which we'll discuss more in a bit. I was watching that match going, this is Cody, top guy, awesome. This is Logan Paul, big star, yes. Why is this happening? This is happening because Nick Aldis said on SmackDown, Cody, you're facing Logan Paul. And Logan Paul was like, Cody, look at the Prime bottle, pal. Let's drink some Prime. I'm not defending my US title. I'm going to win the world title, pal. And Cody's like, I'm going to make you fall in line, pal. Acknowledge me, I'm Cody. Like, that was literally this storyline. So, I'm watching this at like 6 a.m. being like, respect to Triple H, respect to the performers. I'm not hating the WWE now, pal. It's not my new gimmick. But, like, I just didn't really care. I don't know, pal. Is that fair, what I'm saying?
I think it is. I think it is pretty fair, and I want to say this. I'll we could go to the next question after I say this. There are reports that this show was the lowest drawing show in Saudi Arabia that WWE has done over the past near decade, like 6-7 years now. And I mean, it's kind of the fatigue I think is kind of set in. Yeah. Like now we're at the stage in this contract where they're 6 or 7 years into a 10-year deal. And Saudi Arabia has pretty much seen everything. They've seen all their stars. They've seen greatest Royal Rumbles. As our buddy Wrestling Gifts did, he uploaded a video like 3-4 days ago. And he broke down every horrible Saudi Arabia show from 2018 to 2020, 2021, whatever. We had Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. You had Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman. Goldberg and The Undertaker, the Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus Kane and Undertaker. I mean, we've seen some bad stuff. So this show is not that bad.
Yeah.
But we're at a point now where these Saudi shows are literally just like, okay, Ari and Nick Khan, they're like, we inherited this from a prior regime. Let's just fulfill our obligations, get our money, and then after the contract's up, probably won't see these anymore, would be my assumption. Yeah. They clearly just, from an effort level, they clearly phoned this one in. It seemed very painfully obvious. That the champion is only there because Cody wants to be like, oh, I'm the guy that's on every show, pal. Yeah. I'm on every show. I'm different than Roman. And that's pretty because if Roman was champion, what would this card be headlined by? Gunther versus Randy Orton.
Gunther and Randy Orton would have main event, and the show would have ended with that weird is his shoulder up? Wait, no, it's not. Wait, 6 inches off the ground, pal. What does Triple H say in the press conference? That would have been the ending of the show.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, these shows, they're not going to get any better. I don't think when it comes to the Saudi shows. And And yeah, the interest in Saudi's not even there. They had to give away tickets apparently to fill the arena. So I digress, pal. Hit us with the next question.
Pal, this one's a little provocative, but I've just got to be honest here.
I love it.
Would Nia Jax have won Queen of the Ring if she wasn't Samoan?
You know, yes, I'll indulge this. I'll say if she was not Samoan, she would not have won. If she was Australian, for example, like Rhea Ripley, no, never coming close to the Queen of the Ring. No, I mean, in all seriousness, if trying to be serious, I can't take this Queen of the Ring serious with Nia Jax holding it. I can't. It's channel changing heat. Yeah, she got booed at the Royal Rumble, and yeah, people liked hating on her, and it made Jade Cargill look good. But she's not like a legit, like consistent main event act. You know, she's just not. I'm sorry, there's any Nia Jax fans out there that are offended, but like you got Gunther, who's the king of the ring. Gunther's like way up here, like MVP. He's been one of the guys carrying WWE the last 2 years, and then Nia Jax is just not there, even remotely close. Like Bianca Belair would have been so much more fun, you know, as Queen of the Ring. But yeah,
they need to do something like Queen of the Ring. So that, correct me if I'm wrong here. So Zelina Vega won it in 2021.
Yeah,
so the year Xavier Woods won, Zelina Vega won, and did nothing with it. Like I don't remember anything from the Zelina Vega Queen of the Ring run, pal. Maybe I'm forgetting a legendary match on SmackDown, but I don't know. And then now Nia Jax has won. And does this do anything for anyone? Like, pal, like as you just said, you're hardly rushing home from the beach, pal. Oh my god. Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw, pal. I've got to watch. Get the popcorn, get the chips, get the dip, get the sodas. Like, okay, Queen Nia. My opinion on this is, like, they needed the Bianca Belair to win this. They needed someone, like a legitimate established star, to make the Queen of the Ring, like, establish it. The Queen of the Ring is like a new championship belt. It's not a thing that's King of the Ring. King of the Rings has Steve Austin, Triple H. We did a whole thing, a whole Stone Cold and the Rise of Austin bio with trying to King of the Rings and all this. King of the Rings had lots of all-time greats. Queen of the Rings had Zelina Vega.
right.
So if you're going to give us Nia Jax, great for Nia. Sure, as you say, at the Royal Rumble, she got some heat. Yes. At Elimination Chamber, I was booing her because she was facing Rhea Ripley. Yes. But that's about it. You know, like she's a mid-card women's act. She'll come out, she'll win her little match 94 minutes into Monday Night Raw, pal, and then the show will move on. Like, it doesn't matter. So she's now Queen of the Ring, marching to SummerSlam, pal, in Cleveland to take on whichever women's champion has the belt at the time. Am I invested in that? No. WWE have to make me invested. Seems like they're going down the rabbit holes we'll touch on of this, like, Liv Morgan, Dom Mysterio love angle to try and get everyone invested, I guess. More on that later. But as far as Nia Jax is Queen of the Ring, not invested on my end. So see how WWE goes from there. Would she win if she's not Samoan? Probably not. Being realistic, would Jey Uso got a push if he wasn't Samoan? Probably not. You know, I don't know. Whatever. Let's move. All right.
All right, pal. So what's next for Gunther?
Ooh. Well, pal, if you watch a bit of Monday Night Raw, pal, he's now trying to mix it with, I guess, some of the main eventers, pal.
Yeah.
Gunther, Damian Priest, pal. Gunther, Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Where are you at on that? And particularly, I want to angle this even more towards the Priest angle, because he's the world champion, right?
Yeah.
And if we're talking about Gunther and him, so he was the IC champion, as we know, for like 600 days. He loses that title to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, wins this King of the Ring, so he has that extra accolade on his resume. Now you'd think takes that next step up, and that next step on his brand is Damian Priest, the world champion, who you're the Damian Priest guy here. I want your honest opinions. Damian Priest, he's now 2 months in as world champion.
Yep.
Where are you at on him, the world title picture? Talk to us.
Well, it seems like, I don't know, I don't want to call him a transitional champion, but it seems like he is just a placeholder until they get the title on McIntyre for the Punk feud. That seems like the rightful thing. I assume McIntyre wins the title at the next PLE. The name is escaping me right now what the name of the next PLE is. Clash at the Castle, yes. That's where we're going to see McIntyre versus Priest for the championship. I assume McIntyre wins that. I'd be surprised if he doesn't in his home country of Scotland. That would be shocking unless CM Punk costs him the championship again. But I assume McIntyre is going to win, and then we'll get McIntyre versus Gunther again for the second year in a row at SummerSlam. And this time it'll be for the World Heavyweight Championship. And yeah, Damian Priest, it just seems like he's there for now. He doesn't really seem like he's going to be a main eventer for a long time. And I don't think that was ever really the case. Like, if you just think about how he was presented as Mr. Money in the Bank, like what he was doing last night on Raw, where he was like going toe for toe on the mic with Gunther, is what we needed to see from him over the past like 11 months. And like post the Bad Bunny match, you know? And he we really didn't get much of that. So he pretty much said in his promo, was like, yeah, I cashed in on an opportunity, pal. I won the briefcase, you know, I did what I did, like kind of unexpected. And that's kind of where we are with Damian Priest. So it's odd. It's a really odd place where the World Heavyweight Championship is. Damian Priest, like, he just hasn't been presented as a champion. So, and it's sad to say because I love Damian Priest so much. And, you know, he's representing the culture well, but, you know, is what it is. Got to be fair here. And the focus on Gunther, just again for a moment, dial back to Gunther. So, the way they booked this, right, and Triple H kind of alluded to a Gunther Randy Orton rematch. So they really want to milk that for whatever reason. We need another Gunther and Randy Orton match. Gunther just like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, and like where I compared him with Orange Cassidy. It feels like Gunther has lost a lot of his luster. Like he was Intercontinental Champion, he was riding high. Everybody was like, yeah, this is the best wrestler in WWE. And now we're at a point where he's getting into the main event scene, but it's like WWE behind the scenes, they don't know how to get him there. They're kind of shoehorning him in.
Yeah.
And just having him win like a King of the Ring tournament. And then like, oh, he's going to challenge for the title at SummerSlam. I don't know if that was the best way that helps him out. Like, it almost kind of mitigates everything that he did as Intercontinental Champion and as like one of the cornerstones of WWE, to have him have to earn a championship match. And then on top of that, the way he won the title, the number one contenders match, is in question now. So they're trying to babyface him, but he's not. I don't know. He's not a babyface, clearly. I don't know. It's an odd place to be for Gunther. I'm curious how everybody else feels about this. Like, it just kind of feels meh right now.
Yeah. I mean, and then obviously, as you said, they're trying to get him into like the main event and establish that. And I've no doubt that give it 6 to 9 months, and he'll be an established like main event sort of guy. But it's an awkward transition right now between like 600-day IC champion and, you know, consistently main eventing or co-main eventing pay-per-views of the world title. Like, they're in that little transition. Speaking of transitions, as you say, Damian Priest is a transitional champion. Fully agree. Damian Priest is just WWE's version of Samoa Joe. In his early 40s, clear transitional champion, well-liked. Only thing with Damian Priest, he doesn't have like a 20-year indie catalog, but really it's basically the same thing. Everyone knows where they're trying to go. In WWE's case, they're trying to do CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, ideally for the title, or have Gunther win the world title. One of the two. That's where WWE's direction is with this. We're watching Damian Priest as world champion. I can only speak for myself here. I know you just gave your opinion, but I watched Damian Priest in that position and go, good for him. You know, the good career achievement award. That's all it really is. Like this is absolutely his peak. Like, Damian Priest, this will be his big career accolade, being the world champion. So this is his peak. For guys like Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, hopefully Gunther, for them it's like about taking the world title and running with it and driving the company really far forward. With Priest, it's like, yep, he cashed in successfully, tick. He had that amazing WrestleMania moment, tick. He's, you know, representing the culture, and it's a significant thing to that. Awesome. But from as far as what we see week to week, it's like, all right, cool, Priest is champion, all right, cool. Like, that's just how I say it. So yeah, the Priest and Gunther thing, Gunther and McIntyre, Priest, McIntyre, doing Priest McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. McIntyre is clearly going to win. We don't want to preview this and, you know, do all this content now, but like, what are you going to have CM Punk in Scotland cost Drew McIntyre the title? No. Like, Drew's going to win and then Drew's gonna come back to America, get booed out of the arena, and CM Punk's gonna be like, I mean, you can have that belt, sure. You only won that belt because I'm injured, bitch. You know, like that's the storyline. So, yeah, there you go, pal.
There it is, pal. So now, did we need to see Cody versus Logan Paul?
No, no, we didn't. I have an opinion on this. I know a lot of people who are going to be listening to this or who watch Cody Logan Paul like, yeah, it's good, it's fine, yeah, I loved it. I know that's like the general sort of, yeah, cool, but like, as you well know, as the listeners would know, I'm a big Cody Rhodes Whoa fan. You know, like I hate Logan Paul as you should. He's a heel, so I can't stand him. That's his job. So I buy into both dynamics. I'm watching this match. They're in front of Saudi, as you say. Saudi giving away free tickets, basically. You got literally Saudi people outside the stadium giving out tickets. Come in, enjoy, come in, giving out tickets. And we're watching this match. It's a 25-minute match. Michael Cole's calling Logan Paul a loser on commentary. Logan Paul's like, how dare you? They got that, social media viral moment of Logan Paul in the top turnbuckle with like a 360-degree camera, which, fantastic content, I must say. Like, that's got like 60 million views in like 3 days. Awesome. But the match itself was like, okay, well, Cody's clearly going to win. It's in Saudi. The crowd's not really that into it. The storyline was 3 weeks and didn't go anywhere. It was like, as we discussed earlier, oh, Nick Aldis, the wrestling pal. I felt like this was a waste. I feel like if WWE was going to go into this show, king and queen of the ring, we're not putting that much effort into the card. I get that Cody has to wrestle on every pay-per-view because that's Cody's bit. I get it. You might as well just have Gunther and Randy Orton main event with their controversy for King of the Ring. Have it be King of the Ring match main events. You might as well, because this was damn near pointless. You could have done this some other time. I don't know. Am I being harsh on them? Maybe. The performers did their best. Triple H, as you say, Triple H, Ari Emanuel, Nick Khan, they're handcuffed by the contract, right? Like, they're 6 or 7 years in. They're getting through to the end, pal. It's just like a long-standing contract in baseball, pal. They've had their peak years. They've had their, their 2023 crown jewel. They've had their big events. And now it's sort of like, let's just get through to the end. But I don't know. Did you feel the same way, or were you just like, who really cares?
I was just like, oh, it's a good match. Like, I wasn't really for it or against it. It was just, I'm glad it was there. Cody versus Logan Paul. It added to the show, at least. Like, it was one of the highlights of the show. Yeah, I don't really have much to it, honestly. Like, I'm not going to be as a hardcore of a hater on it as you are, pal. Wow. I mean, I guess it makes sense because Logan Paul is a heel, so you hated to see Logan Paul in a top spot, pal.
I guess. All right, well, pal, that being said, we'll move on to another WWE topic and discussion. This is the big angle, the big ending. Monday Night Raw, and Eddie Guerrero's son, Dom.
Yep.
He was fuming. He was on the aisle way. He's just got involved in the women's championship match where Liv Morgan is defending her title in the cage, and then he's, Liv Morgan retains the belt. She grabs it, walks up the aisle way, and there was a kiss to close Monday Night Raw, pal. A form of a celebration, pal. I'll get your opinion. As a diehard Eddie Guerrero fan, now you're watching his son.
Oh, I had his shirt on.
You're watching his son involved in steamy love angles.
Yep. With
Liv Morgan. What are your honest opinions, pal? What do you think of this moment, this storyline?
Oh, man. I mean, I predicted this last week. I was like, are we going to see some sort of celebration between Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio? Liv is going after everything that Rhea has. So, you know what's crazy? Wait, didn't Liv date Buddy Murphy in real life? Was that Alexa Bliss? So. Was that Alexa Bliss?
Not Alexa Bliss.
Okay, never mind. Close enough. But
that's what you're going for.
I digress. So, yeah, Liv and Dominik, they do this hot, like, kissing angle, whatever, to close Raw. And it's like, oh my God, am I, like, in 2006 again? Like, this is Edge and Lita, pal. No, but, like, for real, it was a bit interesting. Like, it was kind of clear as day where they were going with this. And I mean, honestly, like, I don't know how to say this in, like, a proper way, but it sells. That kind of storytelling sells, and I think we do need that in wrestling. Like, we've been for so many years has been PG, or like we've seen angles like this where it's just so unbelievably corny, like with Bobby Lashley and Lana and Rusev. That it's just so unbelievably corny. Like now, the last couple of years, we've got some good stuff. Now we got a love triangle here, potentially. With Liv, Dom, and Rhea. I mean, whenever Rhea comes back, this is going to be good. Like, I assume Dom and Liv are going to be like an on-screen couple. Maybe he's going to break up from Judgment Day now. And then Rhea Ripley can come back, and boom, we got a nice hot feud. Finally, a hot opponent for Rhea Ripley. She can conquer the evil Liv Morgan that stole her boyfriend. I like it. I'm all for it, personally. Then as far as Becky Lynch goes, I was shocked, to say the least. I was shocked to see Becky Lynch put over Liv, not once, but twice. Put her over clean. That is what we needed from Becky Lynch, pal. It's showing why she's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. She helped make a star in Liv Morgan. So, I love it.
Pal, I love how good is it watching Becky Belair putting over the now of this business. I do like, as you touch on, it's a new, I guess, angle for all these wrestlers involved. Like, with the Judgment Day, for instance, we had, almost 2 years, basically, of them running around, especially all of 2023, but them running around, yep, Damon in my dreams, pal, we got our, goth gimmick, oh, wow, we're going to win our matches because we're heels, we're a heel stable, and Triple H loves that. Like, okay, like, they had their dominant sort of era, and then now all of a sudden there's going to be this, this love angle, drama. When Rhea Ripley comes back, who knows? Hopefully they do it in front of a really hot crowd and an international show, so that you can have Liv Morgan. She's with Dom there. They're beating up someone, like they're beating up Finn Balor or something. Who knows? And then Rhea Ripley's music hits, and like some international audience can blow the roof off the stadium, pal. Don't do this in America. When Rhea Ripley comes back, the crowd won't be into it. They'll just be like, oh, whatever.
Mommy.
A big international audience, you'll have people like let's say if it was like Leon, for instance, people, a big international crowd crying. Rhea Ripley will be running out, there'll be tears. Yeah. She'll come down, she'll like smack Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan will go flying into the fourth row. Dom will like piss himself. You'll be like, I'm sorry, mommy. Like the best part of this is gonna be Dom's acting the first time Rhea Ripley's presented with him on screen. Dom will be like, I didn't know, Rhea, I didn't mean anything. It's going to be hilarious. So, I think this shapes to be one of the great storylines of 2024, alongside Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. This will be right up there, I think. So, look, I'm here for the journey, pal. I'm here for the ride. I'm much more into this than what AEW are doing with Chris Jericho. I'll say that.
Oh, my God.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is going to be the hottest storyline in WWE now. Like, Liv Morgan's going to ascend to a superstar. I think this is the perfect thing for everyone involved. Like, it helps Dom. Liv is going to go from, like, the upper main event. She's going to break through the glass ceiling. And Liv versus Rhea should be, like, an all-time iconic feud, pal. We're going to have some Latino heat here, pal. I mean, Dom, he could pull him, bro. Liv Morgan and Rhea, like, what?
I was just going to say, and I know this is fast-forwarding to maybe a few months down the line, Liv Morgan has to win the first match. Like, you can't just have this be, okay, do this big storyline, Rhea Ripley comes back and beats her. That's the same as the Ronda Rousey stuff with Liv Morgan. It's like, okay, well, now what? Like, what did that do for Liv Morgan? What did that do for anybody? So Liv Morgan needs to win the first match and maybe the second. Have the storyline be Rhea Ripley, something about the Dom Mysterio thing, the dynamic of all of it. She loses her superpowers almost, quite literally, and she's like losing matches. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, Dom's with her. I can't beat her when I'm like double her size. What the hell? Like, have that be like a visible thing, and then you can see a different side of Rhea Ripley. It's not just, okay, Rhea Ripley, I'm bigger than half the men on the roster. I'm bigger than all the women outside Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. Boom, beat you, 1, 2, 3. Like, add some story to this. So anyway. It should be good. I can't wait to see where they go with it, pal. Without further ado, ready?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to ask you, pal.
Yes. Hold on. Let me just preface. Now we've got King and Queen of the Ring out of the way. We got Monday Night Raw out of the way. Now it's time to talk AEW Double or Nothing. We saw on Sunday. We saw their lovely pay-per-view take place, pal. So,
which I'll preface by saying, before we say anything, AEW Double or Nothing was better than King and Queen of the Ring.
It was a lot better, yes.
Preface all this.
Yeah.
you're hinting at, and a lot of people, but myself especially, enjoyed AEW Double or Nothing way more than the WWE Premium Live event. I must say that. All considered, I'm going to ask you this, pal. Chris Jericho and Adam Copeland, question mark.
That is a loaded question, pal. I'm so glad you asked me that question. There's so much to say. And before I started attacking the really obvious negatives of Double or Nothing, I'm going to say overall, to echo your sentiment. And I watched all of Double or Nothing. I bought the pay-per-view. I supported AEW. I sat on my couch on Sunday, and I watched the whole show. I thought it was great, honestly, from top to bottom. Like, overall, the card was great. And even some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about here, some of the negatives, like, there was still some good within those negatives. But the show, I mean, MJF's return, like, Ospreay put on another banger. Swerve Strickland continues his title reign. There was so much good stuff on this show. And I have to say this, and I'm trying to say this in the most positive way possible. When you look at Double or Nothing, right? You look at 2019 Double or Nothing. Then you look at 2024 Double or Nothing. Clearly, AEW is doing something wrong. It's not just you and me that are affected negatively by AEW's booking and the way they present themselves. You go back and watch Double or Nothing 2019. There was like probably 8,000 more people in the building than there was on Sunday. It was like 19,000 people in the MGM Grand. The environment was super hot. The crowd was into everything that everybody was doing, regardless of who it was. 5 years later, maybe 10, 11,000 people. The crowd is not that hot for every match. You know, you got these huge signings that are just not moving the needle, that are not generating the buzz like we saw back in 2019, that kind of buzz. So clearly AEW is doing something wrong with their presentation. Their pay-per-views are really good right now. That's their strong suit. You know, you get an AEW pay-per-view, you know it's going to be a good show. You're going to get your $49 worth or your $25 worth, however much you pay for it. You're going to get your money's worth. You're going to see great matches. But it's getting to the pay-per-views and it's the weekly TV shows that are confusing. Like, I'm watching the recaps that they played before each match, and me, a casual AEW viewer, I'm like, wait, why is this match happening exactly? Like, it's kind of hard to follow some of these storylines, you know? And there's just not a lot of depth in the storytelling and in the presentation right now. So, and it's clear as day just based on those factors that I mentioned. Now, that being said, Double or Nothing, 8 out of 10 show. I loved it overall. To answer your question, Chris Jericho and Adam Copeland. Oh, yes. Here we go. So Chris Jericho, Chris Hogan, pal, he had a triple threat match for the FTW Championship. And another gimmick, the Learning Tree of Jericho. And I'm sick of this guy. I'm sick of him. I'm sorry. I'm sick. Everyone else is sick of him. Like, people on Twitter are making fun of it. Like, bro, this is ridiculous. Like, why is this guy winning this match here? You've got Hook and Shibata. Hook is a young star. He's been FTW champion. He's Taz's son. We know. Why is Chris Jericho winning this match? Like, why is Chris Jericho wrestling in tights? Again, like, first of all, he's 4 years old, wrestling in tights. They had the dice, the hockey pucks, the thumbtacks, the bat. Like, of course, it's, oh, shocker, wow moment, bro. It's Chris Jericho with dice and baseball bats. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching it. Nobody cares anymore. Put over the young talent. Like, this, what does Chris Jericho have on Tony Khan, bro? Like, he knows something that we don't, that Tony Khan clearly doesn't want the public to know, because this is ridiculous at this point with Chris Jericho. This is ridiculous. I'll let you go in a moment. I'm just going to say more. Now I'm just going to transition to Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland faced Malachi Black in the 8th match, or 7th match on the card. It was right before the triple main event. And we pretty much said how this match started, or how this match came to be. Adam Copeland went to Tony Khan and was like, okay, here's my list of guys who want to wrestle in your company. Malachi Black, I want him at the next pay-per-view. And that's pretty much what happened. And then people were burying Adam Copeland on Twitter, too. They were like, wait, he's beaten everyone that he gets in the ring with except Roman Reigns. Like, he's beaten everybody he's faced in AEW. He's beaten everyone in WWE since his return. And, I mean, if anybody benefited from a win here, it's Malachi Black. No. And I'm so over this sentiment of like, oh, Adam Copeland is wrestling at 50, so I have to like it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to like it. You know, like, okay, it's cool. I appreciate the fact that he's getting in the ring in a barbed wire steel cage match. I appreciate the fact that he's wrestling still. I appreciate the fact that he's a legend. That doesn't mean I have to be into it emotionally. or invested in it as a fan. You know, I'm not invested in watching him and Malachi Black kill each other. You know, and then he breaks his leg, literally suffers a fractured tibia after he jumps off the cage in one of the really most awkward looking cage dives. And I'm just like, bro, you're 50. You've proven everything already. You were one of the best heels of my childhood, one of the best heels of the Ruthless Aggression era, one of the biggest stars in WWE history. And now at 50 years old, you're jumping off the cage and you're breaking your tibia and doing awkward elbow spots. Like, and I'm not allowed to say, hey, this is not good. Because then I'm a hater and I know nothing about wrestling. And, oh, it's the revolution. Oh, he just let him be happy. He can be happy all he wants. It don't mean I got to like it. I don't got to like what he's doing. I'm sorry. Like, this is not good. It's not good. Like, yes, the match was good. The in-ring match, the work was fine. But overall, like, I'm left with a bad taste in my mouth from watching one of my, like, favorite stars from my childhood ruin his legacy. You know? It's like, it's sad. It's sad to see. Like, if he was doing good stuff, you know, like, if we were getting, you know, Adam Copeland, whatever, like Adam Copeland versus who you name it, like Bryan Danielson or Adam Copeland versus Okada, and we're getting like a good 30-minute match where everybody's like, wow, Edge still got it. Oh my God, this was an amazing match. Okay, cool. You know, I'm down with that. But this is like a steel cage barbed wired match just because Adam Copeland wanted to wrestle Malachi Black on his list of wrestlers that he wanted to face, and I don't know. It was just, man, AEW should be building towards the future, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and I like you touched on that with Adam Copeland. It's like, if you're going to have him at however old he is, 51, you know, going on 5 years into his return run in wrestling generally, WWE for 3, now AEW for 2. If you're going to be at this stage, the storyline now needs to be that, one, he's proving he's still got it, or have some sort of storyline that isn't just what you say. Adam Copeland walks into Tony Khan. Hey, Tony, you know, I want a 20-minute match of the next pay-per-view against this guy. Okay, Adam Copeland, sure. We'll add that to our 4-hour, 30-minute pay-per-view. Okay. You know, ideally they do something like that where, as you say, I mean, you mentioned Okada, Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. Have Adam Copeland wrestle those guys and have it be a thing of like, yeah, I've still got it. I'm going to beat you. You can't beat, like, do something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but that being said, I mean, I want to echo everything you said on the positive. I on the whole, really enjoyed this show. Which, you know, shout out to AEW because the flow of this show was very good. You know, you open with the Ospreay match, the MJF like state return segment, very well done, and the momentum carried fairly well through the show. And weren't really many like down like periods of the show. Yes, the Jericho thing is a bit like you're watching the Jericho thing, and I'm just like, I don't care. Just get off my TV, Chris. Seriously, I don't care. But on the whole, for most of the whole 4 hours, I was like, yeah, I'm entertained here. Or what's going on? I'm into this. Like when Swerve Strickland's on the screen, as we'll talk about in a minute. Swerve's on the screen. I like Swerve. Like, you know, let's watch him wrestle. Christian Cage, cool, all good. Oh, Mercedes Moné. This is the great Sasha Banks, pal. The legendary Sasha Banks. Oh wow. You know, and then I'm watching each thing. I was feeling something most of the show, which is really all you can ask for. As audience members, pal, we need to feel. One thing I'll say about AEW, which is what you hint at with the Double or Nothing 5 years ago versus now, the week to week, or generally like the hype to these shows, the audience doesn't clearly feel the same way they used to when it comes to AEW with these big pay-per-views. This show, Double or Nothing, the upper deck, like, you know, the top 30% of the arena up the top was empty. It was like the lower bowl was full. It was like 70% full. But everyone who was there, I've heard reports, the top deck was empty, which isn't ideal for your biggest show of the year outside of the all-in shows. But yeah, I guess it's fitting where AEW's at. I don't think the builds to shows make the audience feel enough anymore with AEW. But the pay-per-view cards themselves are very good. Tony Khan, all credit to him, he's very good at writing on a piece of paper a card 4 months out that people are going to want to see, or it's going to be an 8, 9 out of 10 show. Tony Khan is good at that. That's his strength. He's always been a fantasy booker. When he was a little 17-year-old watching matches in the 90s, that's what he was. He was a fantasy booker of matches. So it's fitting that he's now very good at that today. We saw a great 8 out of 10 show, I'd say. the Double or Nothing, pal. That leads us to the next question. I want to ask you.
Can I just jump in for just 2 seconds? I just want to play fantasy executive here for a moment.
Yeah.
If Tony Khan like called me and was like, hey bro, I need help. I need to get into green. I need to get some profit. I need more of my attendance up.
I know where you're going with this video.
I feel like some of the mistakes that AEW is making are like elementary. Like I would literally walk in and I'd be like, okay, Adam Copeland's making how much? Oh, cross that out. Jericho's making how much? Well, cross that out. Mercedes Mone is making how much? Cross that out. Like it blows my mind that like he's paying these people buku bucks to just finish out their careers, the way they want to, because they were big stars 20 years ago. It's like, I don't know, like where's Ricky Starks? Where's Powerhouse Hobbs? Where's Brian Cage? Where are the guys that are gonna be that they're gonna be around in 5-10 years that can help take AEW to the next level? It's confusing.
Well, pal, and let's play devil's advocate here, right? Like, you're the executive, pal.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in your office. Let's play this out, pal.
Right.
It's like a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yep.
You're AWHQ, whatever. You're Tony Khan, or so you're an executive. Adam Copeland walks in. Knock, knock. Hey, just a quick one. Just want to put this on the table for you. I want to wrestle Malachi Black. He's a guy I've been really looking forward to wrestling here. I think it's going to be a great match. It's going to move the needle for you. It's going to be, we're going to have 20 minutes on, your next pay-per-view. I want to wrestle him. He's on my bucket list. That's going to be awesome. I want to do that. So you have Adam Copeland say that. He walks out. Okay, I'll think about it, sure. Next 10 minutes later, you got Ricky Starks walks in. Oh, hey, Tony. I just want to what's going on with sort of my push at the moment? Like I was working some collision matches and I was on a bit of Rampage, but I'm barely on Dynamite. I'm not on the pay-per-view. What's going on? Oh, we'll figure something out. What do you want to do? Okay, I'll note that down. Ricky Starks leaves. What are you going to do at the next pay-per-view? You can do the Adam Copeland match, or you can do something for Ricky Starks? Of course you can do the Adam Copeland match. If you're Tony Khan, the executive there, you got those two options. Like I'm just playing devil's advocate there. I get it. Like I get why when you got an all-time great top 15 guy marching into your office saying, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. Versus probably the younger, more respectful talent. Oh, hey, what are we doing with my push? Just want to throw that out there. Like, it comes to the politics of wrestling.
Yeah, of course. My point being is that AEW needs an overhaul. A drastic overhaul. Yeah. They need to make major changes. Because there's going to get to a point where if they keep doing what they're doing, those 12,000 people that were at Double or Nothing is going to dwindle to like 7,000, 8,000. And it's just going to get worse and worse. And eventually, what are they going to do? But I digress. Continue. Ask your next question, pal.
Oh, no, so, that was that. And with it being said of AEW's management, WWE's management, it leads us to MJF's. MJF's now back. That's good. Like I'm genuinely happy about that. I think MJF's fantastic. He's one of the best in the world at wrestling, at being a professional wrestler. He's one of the absolute best in the world. He's now back. He's wearing a Triple H 01 jacket, as everyone commented on that it was a retro throwback look. So MJF's now back. Pal, I'll ask you just firstly, general thoughts on when he came back. What was your reaction when he came out? We'll start there.
Well, MJF is the biggest star in AEW, so when I heard his music hit, I was like, oh my god, MJF's back. Like, finally, somebody that I actually want to watch on the screen on a regular basis, Yeah, he is the biggest star, so he probably fleeced Tony Khan out of quite a bit of money. He's probably like, all right, what's Copeland, Mercedes Mone? One of these guys making double that for me, pal. Or else I'm going to WWE. I'm going to report to NXT and develop my skills. So... I understand why MJF stayed. I understand completely. There's a millions of reasons why he stayed. Tony Khan knew he can't lose that guy. Can't. He's the one entertainment entity that he employs on his roster that actually brings viewers in, that can get the mainstream viewer that likes promos and likes good storytelling. They're lacking in that department, to say the least. Then overall, the context or the content of what he delivered us upon his return, we're getting the continuation of the Adam Cole feud. Adam Cole brought his devil mask out and was addressing the crowd. Boom, MJF comes out, low blows him. Then he cuts a promo. And you could tell MJF was maybe nervous or just, he was trying to kind of find the flow, find the rhythm. And one thing I want to address specifically was his WWE reference. Now, I'll preface by saying this. If you go on Twitter, you go on like Reddit or whatever, and you read what people are saying about his WWE reference, you would think it was like the worst thing ever. You would think like he just completely like made a fool of himself. He cut a good promo for like 15 minutes. And because he mentioned Vince McMahon, and like in 1 second of the promo, like that all gets thrown away. And yes, the reference you could say was cringy, whatever. I understand what he was trying to say, like he's trying to find a creative way to say, hey, I'm the one guy in AEW that I wasn't, New Japan didn't make me and WWE didn't make me. I'm the self-made guy. I'm the only self-made guy in AEW. And maybe Swerve Strickland, you could say, is the other guy. But yeah, MJF, completely self-made. He didn't need to go to Japan and wrestle 7-star matches with Okada and Ospreay. He didn't need the WWE machine behind him. He didn't have to be a retired legend that wants to live out his career. He's MJF. And overall, I thought his promo was fantastic. I do think that that's going to be the extra oomph that AEW needs to maybe get back on track. Like, I don't think even Tony Khan can butcher MJF. MJF, whatever he decides to do is going to be must-watch television. I think MJF kind of learned from some of the mistakes he made last year as champion, and I think he's going to come back a better version of himself. We'll see.
And I'm glad that, they're self-aware, right? And like one of the biggest things in wrestling that the fans hate is a lack of self-awareness. Cough, cough, Adam Copeland, Chris Jericho, especially. You want self-awareness. MJF, losing the promo, is like, the back end of last year was a disgrace. Like, I look back and I can't believe some of the stuff I did. That wasn't the real me. The real me is fueled by hate.
Right.
That was a version of me where I was trying to be someone I wasn't, trying to like play the role of the champion, pal. That's not who I am. I'm fueled by hate. I'm Maxwell Jacob Friedman. F you all. I'm AEW, pal. I'm Chips in, pal. I thought it was the tattoo thing. I was a bit like, okay, good for you. That'll be interesting in 5 years when he's leading WWE into WrestleMania 46. But okay, nonetheless, yeah, the promo itself. I don't need New Japan or a Vince McMahon. But I don't really care, pal. I'm a 21-year-old grown man. I don't really care. Like, I heard that was a good for him, a WWE line. Obviously, as you say, people on Twitter, people on Reddit, people online make it seem like he drove to WWE headquarters and spray painted the building or something. I don't know. It wasn't that dramatic. But yeah, I thought the promo was fantastic. Really good stuff. He, as you say, he's the spark that the company needs. Without him, it's a lot of just the muchness. Like the biggest thing they've done in the time MJF's been away. Yes, you can say Swerve won the world title, sure. But as far as like angles and real storylines, the biggest thing was probably like
the CM Punk footage.
Oh god, we're counting that. Yeah, like that whole thing with the Elite beating up Kenny Omega with diverticulitis and Jack Perry, like showing the all out footage, like also the all in footage. Like, okay, like that's AEW's attempt of storytelling and promos and storylines is showing footage, CCTV, grainy footage that legally I didn't think they could show on Dynamite.
They couldn't.
That's their attempt of storytelling and progression without MJF. So now that MJF's back, they can actually progress a meaningful storyline he's involved in. So I'm all here for it, pal. MJF makes AEW watchable for me, at least. Without him, yeah, like watching Matthew and Nicholas Jackson running around playing executives on TV. It's thrilling. Oh, pal, Jack Perry's a sinister heel, pal. He's making $2 million a year, whatever he's making. He's making a lot of money a year. He's buddies with the Young Bucks and Tony Khan to work one show a week and not even wrestle. Oh, wow. Like, great. But MJF's the needle mover, pal. I don't have a needle with me, pal, but he's moving that needle, pal.
Oh, man. Anything else on MJF?
Look, I think that's about it on, like, MJF. And then I'll ask you, pal, just generally speaking, sort of touching on the rest of the other stuff, I guess we'll call it the triple main event with AEW Double or Nothing. We've got the Swerve Strickland Christian Cage World Title match, Mercedes Mone and her match for the TBS Women's Championship And then the main event, the Anarchy in the Arena, pal. I'll ask you, as you said, you watched the whole show. Thoughts on those, just generally speaking, one by one.
Yeah, I'll start with Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale. So I thought it was fun. Like it was a fun match, seeing Mercedes Moné come back. It lacked aura. I think is the best way I could phrase it. It was missing that extra oomph. Like, oh, this is Mercedes Moné. This is a legend. This is an icon. I didn't really feel that presence through the screen. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't see her the same way that a lot of fans see her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not too sure exactly what it is. Like, they were playing her hype, like, return in the video package, the big business in Boston, pal. And I'm just like, okay. Like, cool, I don't really know a lot about Willow Nightingale. Maybe that hurt it. I was just expecting to be gripped and have my attention like on the match the whole time, and it wasn't really the case. Like, yeah, I'll give her she's a bigger star than any other woman in the company. But is she like on the level of like what she's presented to be? Is she on the level of like a CM Punk or like a Kenny Omega or a Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, I should say? Not really, or even like an Ospreay. Like Ospreay came out and had more aura on this show. Overall though, it was fun and it was a good match. I can't really take too much away from it.
I was going to say on the aura thing, and you sort of answered the question just there, but as far as wrestlers, male, female, whether they're coming from WWE, coming from Japan, wherever they're from, WCW even, in Sting's case, what are the wrestlers who've gone to AEW and either kept or like grown their aura as they're there? We're talking like established sort of stars. So Sting, I'd say he kept his aura appearance the whole time.
Yeah.
I'd say Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. He's done a very good job. I'd still say Jon Moxley. I think on the whole, he's kept his aura and sustained as like a main event guy.
Yeah. CM Punk.
CM Punk, I'd say so, yes.
Kenny Omega.
Copeland sort of lost a bunch of his aura. I mean, even like Christian Cage has probably kept his aura. He's done really good stuff. But a lot of
Omega.
I mean, Mercedes Moné here, like, we'll see where it goes. I think she needs to just get into a storyline with Toni Storm. Have it be a really personal, like, look, you're the woman here. Like, I want to beat you. Like, even if it's whatever that looks like, I think that should be the match they go for next. Have Toni Storm be like, you're literally here making $6 million a year. What are you doing for anyone? Like, really make it personal with her. And be like, you can barely cut promos, Sasha. Sorry, Mercedes. Apologies. And everyone's be like, oh! Like have it be like a personal storyline. Like, have it be like, look, the people watch the AEW Women's Division for me. I'm Toni Storm. I've been the best thing here for 2 years. And you've come in just because you got a different colored hair dye now. And you got the CEO going, no one's interested. Great for you. Beat me in a match. Dare ya. Or something. Like do something like that. And then be like, oh, okay. So it's not just, okay, Mercedes is here, pal. Watch Mercedes. It's that, oh my God, Mercedes actually has to do something and really prove herself and justify why she's worthy of $6 million a year. Or whatever it is. 3 million, 2 million, 4 million, I don't know. Whatever insane amount of money she's making. So that's my opinion. But as far as the rest of the matches, pal, Swerve Strickland. I'll ask you that one. Swerve, Christian Cage, opinion?
Yeah, it was a good match. Again, it was a solid match. It was actually really well done. I really liked it. Swerve is super impressive in the ring. Like, he's the best in-ring performer, like, overall that AEW has, I want to say. Like, a lot of people will hear that and go, what about Ospreay? Ospreay's a good, like, technician, but Swerve is, like, the most exciting, Like, he's like that Shawn Michaels-esque kind of guy, where Ospreay is more like a Bret Hart, And I mean, it was like, there were points in the match where I was kind of like, yeah, this is kind of slow. Like, Christian's just not on that level anymore in the ring, So I do want to see Swerve mix it up with some more younger talents, hopefully going forward. But Christian was definitely deserving of the opportunity. Then, like, you have Mama Wayne out there, pal, and Nick Wayne. Like, the whole Wayne family out there at Christian. Like, Christian's literally calling Nick Wayne his son. I'm like, this is crazy, bro. Like, this is just, like, he's, as a character, he's on another level, though. Good.
I say, and this will lead into our main event. One match I want to see, just from an AEW point of view, which is it's a younger talent. I want to see them do a storyline where Jack Perry basically literally politics his way into getting the world title shot. He's like, he's bumping on Matthew Nicholas Jackson. Hey, I did the thing in the Flamethrower Anarchy in the arena. I am the reason we won that match. Hey, I am the reason where's like, you want to reward me with the world title match? Hey, and whatever. And then the Young Bucks, go for it, have your world title match. And then it becomes a really big build up thing. Swerve Strickland is almost fighting for the good of humanity against Jack Perry. And there's a bunch of cheating. It's a fun 25-minute match. Swerve Strickland wins clean. And then that really establishes him. You can have that as a TV special or something, a big TV match, because I don't see Jack Perry in a world title match on pay-per-view. No, thank you. Besides a dynamite match, build it up for 4 to 6 weeks. I think that could be fun, just as a suggestion. Will they do that? Probably not, but I think it could fit. With Jack Perry's just heel persona. But yeah, Swerve Strickland's really good, as you say. He's just a really good champion. I like Swerve. Swerve as MJF is going to be fantastic. That's the match in AEW.
Can't wait for it.
I hope they do that at All In or something like that. I'd rather see Swerve as MJF than whatever, some Ospreay match, just because it might be better star ratings wise. I want to see the 2 stars of the future of this company. 2 guys who are invested in AEW genuinely, not just I'm here to work a couple dates because the contract's easy in WWE's, as Will Ospreay did. So yeah. Then Pal, anything else now? We want to talk about main event.
No, let's talk main event. Let's do it.
Pal, I thought this was excellent. I just got to say, AEW with these main events, they did the Stadium Stampedes for a number of years. Anarchy in the arena here, I thought was tremendous. I was into this whole match. I just love how they work this match. A bit of music in the background. I like it. The flamethrower stuff. They're working around the arena. I really enjoy this. That's just my opinion. What's your general view, pal?
No, I enjoyed it too. I definitely did. The only thing is the flamethrower spot is like clearly the Young Bucks put this in here so they can say oh look, we can do whatever we want. F you to the old heads. Then you got the Jim Cornettes that I guess Jim Cornette says his podcast has more listeners than AEW has viewers on a weekly basis. That's Jim Cornette's words, not mine. Jim Cornette is going to destroy this. All the anti-WWE people are going to destroy this. So that attitude of yeah, we can do this because we can, ends up hurting the match in the long run, because then that's all people are talking about, and they're kind of not looking at the overall content of the match. But overall, yeah, this was great. I mean, with the amount of talent involved, if this would have been a bad match, I mean, what can you do at that point? Throw the towel in. If you're AEW and you put on a bad match here with all these guys, yeah, the Young Bucks were funny. They were turn the music off. We're on a budget. That song is cost us $200K or whatever. That was funny. Yeah, overall, I thought it was great. It was a great way to cap off the show. A match like this, yeah, it has to main event because nobody could follow this. It doesn't matter. You could have you could have Prime Omega versus Prime Okada try to follow this, and they couldn't. It was just such a wild match, and yeah, it was really good and it was fun, really. And that's what AEW does bring to the table with their pay-per-views. Their pay-per-views are a lot of fun.
There you go. No, I couldn't agree more on that. And just to round out the AEW portion of this, yeah, AEW did a very good job of that show. I really enjoyed what they did. It cleared WWE and that King and Queen in the Ring show that they put on just to get some bucks from Saudi Arabia to honor a contract. So yeah, any closing thoughts on Double or Nothing or either of the shows, pal?
No, that's it, pal. I'm ready to go around the world.
I sure am, pal. Around the world, around the world, around the world, pal.
Where are we going?